Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dynamic Entrepreneurs. Hello, I'm your hostess, Jenny Edwards, and today I have an incredibly amazing guest, Raven Blair Glover. Hello, Raven.
Hi, how are you?
I'm amazing. It's so good to see you.
It's good to see you too. You popped them babies yet?
Not yet. So close, so close. Well, if you out there that are watching are not familiar with Raven, has been dubbed by Jack Canfield to be the best, one of the best anyway, interviewers on the planet. And that's pretty incredible coming from Jack Canfield. AKA Raven is known as the talk show maven, queen of interview marketing and conversation. I love it. She is a former CNN radio personality, a 5-time award-winning show host, and the winner of the 2016 Global Women Leaders Award, Giant Community Leader Award, and a proud recipient of Barack Obama's 2016 President's Lifetime Achievement Award, just to name a few. That's pretty incredible, Raven.
Thank you.
So Raven, the talk show maven, she teaches entrepreneurs how to get from out of the shadows into the spotlight by being the Oprah or Larry King in their niche with their very own TV talk show interview series featured on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Let's give it up for Raven.
Hi.
Yeah. So Raven, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
Well, it's basically the bio says that my passion is showing people how to, come from being the best kept secret in their niche and come from being in the shadow, so to speak, or feeling like they're, like Casper the Friendly Ghost, like you're kind of invisible. These are the ways I felt for many, many years up until the age of 55 when I, first started my radio journey. But up until then, that's how I felt. And most of my clients feel that way in business, feel that way in life. So we like to give them that boost of confidence and let them know that they all got a bag of chips and some M&Ms on the side. Yes, yes. And we do that by helping them step out of the shadows into the spotlight, giving them our step-by-step proven formula on how to become the Oprah Larry King in your niche. And that's simply by going out there and hooking your wagon to the greats, like many of the people that Janine has interviewed, and that, I know for sure Eric Zoe is on here, and then other top influencers. And that's what we teach. We teach how to get them, how you can get Montel Williams, Les Brown, Russell Simmons, Lindsay Wagner, Sherry Shepherd. The people that you see behind me are people I've been blessed to interview. And we show you how you can reach out to them, even though they don't know you, even though you may have 150 or 50 million. It doesn't matter the number, because the way we teach our clients, they never ask that. We have the irresistible ask, and we show you how to get those people to say yes to being on your podcast, your summit, your book, your radio show, your TV show. And then, of course, we help them with that by either creating a podcast for them or a TV show, and putting it on many of the places that we broadcast, including Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. That's a lot. That's a mouthful, girl.
That's a mouthful. That's awesome. So Raven, what was it about your own journey, your own path, that made you decide, what was calling you to create this kind of work?
Yeah, I love that question, because interviewing has been my second half of my life. It really has. I mean, I always wanted to spin records and be a broadcaster, but I thought it was going to be via spinning records of being a DJ. And that dream started when I was 13 and increased at 16. I was actually sneaking down to the neighborhood radio station, WJMO in Cleveland, Ohio. And and then soon became a junior DJ there, and a junior DJ, and had my own show. I think I was like 16 years old at Veterans Hospital in Cleveland. And then, when I got older, I started thinking about the FCC license because you youngins out there, you don't know, but you used to have to have an FCC license. I think you still do, but for podcasting and for, all this new media type stuff, you don't. And back then, it wasn't a lot of people that, especially African American women, that had the FCC license. They weren't giving it to them as freely. You really had to work for it. And my fear of tests and my lack of confidence, low self-esteem, I just kind of turned my back on the dream, and I never looked back. But guess what? My dream found me at the hospital in Houston, Texas, Methodist Hospital, while I was sitting by my mother's bedside. She was in there for serious surgery. We thought it was going to be 10 days. It ended up being 3 weeks. And my sister and I, we lived in the hospital and the ICU unit right along with her. We wanted to make sure no mistakes was made. And one day I got on a call. You'll love this. And I heard Alex Mendosian say that the quickest way to become an expert is to go out there and interview experts. Don't try to create nothing yourself. Just get on this thing called a podcast. Start that. You could read up to possibly millions, and go out there and ask people that wrote books, ask people that have been there, done that. They paved the way. They know the way, rather. They made their mistakes, and they can share insider secrets on how they got there to your audience. And I got excited, grabbed a piece of paper, drew a line down the middle, and I said, what do I need to do on one side? Where do I begin? And I created my show. That started February 6, 2006. I actually launched my very first show, teaching myself from a hospital, April 23rd, 2006. Just a few weeks later.
Wow. Yeah. You're an action taker.
Action taker, and it paid off.
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
That's great. Wow. Yeah. And so obviously you've made a huge difference for a lot of people.
Yeah, for my pocket too, because at the age of 55, when I did it at the hospital, I was making $10 an hour, working 20 hours a week. Now I make over 6 figures interviewing people, having a ball, and showing other people how to do it. Am I where I want to be? No. But that saying, I ain't where I want to be, but thank God I ain't where I used to be.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Lisa Nichols says,
that's awesome. Yes. So for those of you watching, what are you learning?
And she's kind of cray-cray.
Cray-cray, yeah. But knowing where you want to go, having an idea of like, hey, I don't want to play this mediocrity game. Like how I want to up level what I'm doing and take my message to the next level.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Take it to the next level.
And see what the opportunities are. Yeah. That's
Step
cool.
into your power.
Yeah, power. So what kind of insights do you have to our audience that obviously may not have their own show, their own platform? Like where do they start?
I would say, start with what you're passionate about. What do you want to get out to the world? If you only had a few weeks to live, what would be the one thing you say, God, I wished I would have what? And whatever it is, do a show around it. I wished I would have jumped out of a plane. Okay, get somebody that got enough guts with you to take the camera and film you jumping out of a plane, or interview people about jumping out of planes. That's why I started. I didn't have anything. I didn't have any content to bring. I didn't think I did, but I got to correct that. We all have it because we've been living our journey all our lives, right? So
we all have a story.
What we've done, the good, the bad, and the ugly of it, we can pass on. But if you're not comfortable, like I was at that time, then you just go to authors and speakers and different people and say, hey, tell me your story. Oh, I would love to interview you on it. Are you open to? And get them to come on your show. Getting a platform. Oh my God. I mean, that is so easy, don't you think? I mean, I know it's really easy because you got podcasting, you got new media streaming, OTO TV, like Amazon Fire and Apple and Roku. But guess what I did mine's from? because I didn't know anything much about podcasting. I heard Alex say it, but I didn't technical person. I didn't have time to do all that. So I found out about free conference call, and I just got on there and started talking, and then started inviting people and giving them that conference number. And Montel Williams on a free conference call line, Russell Simmons on a free conference call line, Fran Drescher on a free conference call.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't use any technical equipment. It was a phone. It was a telephone, not the cell, the actual receiver. And I sent them there, and they meet me on there, and none of them ever asked me how many listeners. Not a one, ever.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really great lesson for those of you watching, because I think a lot of people get caught up in the comparison, which I say comparison is the thief of joy. I think that was a famous quote actually by maybe Theodore Roosevelt.
Okay. But shout out to Theodore. Oh, he ain't here no more.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just kidding.
Comparing yourself to others, or not, or feeling like, oh, I don't have this big list, or, how do I get followers? How do I get, viewers? And just starting from somewhere, just taking that first step to really.
There you go. Because there's so many ways you can repurpose it once it's done, so you don't have anybody on Facebook Live. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, I don't have anybody on Facebook Live. I'm not even counting on anybody on Facebook Live. You know why I go on there? For the energy. Because I'm like, okay, I'm going to go live, or I'm going to take my host live, and because it's a different energy than pre-recorded. Don't you agree? Yeah.
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 Yeah, absolutely.
Energy. Yeah. So even the thought, even if nobody shows up, but the thought of somebody probably is going to show up, one person at least, or people are going to see it afterwards, you're going to go out there at your best. But if you try to pre-record it, you know what's going to happen? You're going to pre-record it 50 freaking times.
It's not perfect.
Yeah, the first one's going to be your best. Everything else is going to spiral down. Don't do that.
And then you get in the critique mode.
Yeah, you get in the critique, the perfection mode. Oh my God, and all that. So, I teach my hosts and clients, just go out there. They'll tell you, I lovingly push them on out there. Come on, we're going. I don't want to hear that stuff, because that's what I did. I was pushed out there because I knew that I had to change my life. For things to change, I must change. And like I said, I was only making $10 an hour at the age of 55. Now, my mother them has sent me to the best schools. They spent a lot of money in the suburbs, all that stuff. So there was nothing in my path where I should have been at that age making only $10 an hour. But because, relationships and things had kind of beat me up mentally, emotionally, my self-esteem went really low. And, I got to the point where if I can wake up and get up and feeling healthy, and I got a roof over my head, I started settling. So I want to ask some of your listeners and viewers, how many of you have been settling? How many of you, like I said earlier, have been feeling invisible, have been feeling dismissed? You've been waiting for that award. You're not getting it because people don't know who you are. You want to be on a magazine. Nobody's asking you to be on a magazine. I got to tell you, like one of my mentors says, stop it. Stop it. No more beating yourself up. You don't have to, because you have everything that you need inside. And you got people all around you that you can interview. Pick a niche and be like Oprah and Larry King, and go out there and interview the best of the best in that niche.
Yeah, I love it.
And then make some money from it, honey. Ching, 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 ching.
That's what it's all about on this summit, is monetizing your message. So Raven, once you have your interview, how do you really go from good to great?
Ooh, that's a really good question. And here's the best answer for that. You keep sharpening your skills. You never give up. You keep watching your favorites. Like I like to watch The Talk. Of course, I like to watch Oprah. So you pick those that you feel are good, the programs and just say, okay, what do you like about what they do? And what doesn't feel like you like it is good for them, but you can never do that. And what would you do differently? So I always ask myself, what did I like? What did I don't like? And what would I do differently? And that's helped me, especially getting started, because what I did is I went and listened to, from the hospital, I listened to about 10 podcasts. I listened to about 10 podcasts. And then, I would listen not only to the host, I would listen to the guests. I wanted to know, are they controlling their platform? That's a good one right there. Control your platform, because your guests, especially if they talk like me, they will take over. So control the platform. So, and I would listen to the energy level of the two. Okay. And so I always tell my clients and my hosts to, when you're going to be on a show, or you're going to be interviewing someone, go Google them, find out where the last interview they were, or listen to 3 or 4 interviews and listen to their energy. Is their energy the same as yours? Is yours too much? Because if yours too much, you don't want to tone it all the way down, but you might want to tone it down a little bit, because you want it to kind of match. You don't want anybody, blah, 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 another person's, yeah, cool, man. You know what I'm saying? So
Totally.
yeah, a lot of people don't think about that though. So you want the energies to match. And when I'm interviewing someone, I know I'm going to interview someone, I want to hear their past interview, because I want to know, was there something that made their voice crack? Arsenio Hall says things that make you say, So that lets me know they're passionate about that. Oh, of course, I'm going to bring that question up, or I'm going to say, I heard you talk on this person's show, and it almost broke my heart, because I could tell there was a lot behind that.
Yeah.
So those are the things that help you go from good to great. So what am I saying? Be a great listener. Listen more than you talk. And don't multitask. Being on an interview is not a good time to multitask. You totally miss the answer.
Focus.
Focus.
Yeah. Because the interaction is key.
Yeah.
And it's like getting to the heart of the connection. That's what I love about podcasting too, because it's adding a lot of value, but there's a lot of conversation, a lot of personality that goes with it, storytelling.
Yeah. All that. Yeah. And there's so much authenticity in an interview, because a lot of times you may have preset questions, but even if you have preset questions, most of the time the host is going to ask their own question coming from the answer that you gave them. And so you're going to be really authentic, because they're asking the questions like this, and they want to keep you that way. They want to keep you raw and real. And so that would be my next tips: stay raw and real. And don't be afraid to ask the question that your listeners want. And here's a really good tip I learned early on, especially for those of you that don't have questions yet. Of course, if you get my interview toolkit, talk show toolkit, you'll have those questions for sure. But if you're going to interview someone that's going to be on a particular topic, go to your Facebook group, your email, and you send out to your peeps and say, listen, I'm going to be interviewing such and so. And he or she's going to be talking about this subject. What's your biggest challenge here?
Yeah.
If you had 5 minutes with this person regarding this subject, what is it that you would want to know? And that's where you really get good questions. You get the type of questions. I know we're getting ready to talk about this, so this is a good segue into that, because that way you'll get the type of questions that, guess what, we'll be able to repurpose into a book or an audio series. You know why? Because you just got the questions, the pain points from your viewers, your listeners, your email, your peeps. And so you think if you don't put a package together that has 10 questions and solutions to their problem, it's going to sell. So that's the best place to get questions.
Yeah. Yes. So definitely taking notes if you're watching this, because that's a big key to the monetization, is the repurposing.
Yeah, absolutely. Repurpose. Like, what's the 3 things for real estate? Location,
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 location. Yeah,
location.
yeah, yeah. For a show host, repurpose, repurpose, repurpose. Absolutely.
Awesome. Those are great insights for the monetization. Thank
Yeah.
you, Raven.
You're welcome. Like that hat, by the way, that cap.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I figured I had to wear some kind of awesome hat because I knew you would be.
It's definitely awesome. Love it.
With some style and some pizzazz.
There you go. Pizzazz, baby,
Attitude.
pizzazz. Yeah.
Yeah. So Raven, how do you make money with this process?
Oh, yeah. Now, I love to make money, and I've got my friends over here that I bring whenever I talk about making money. Hold on a second. Are you guys ready to talk? Yeah. Okay. So making money. Let's make some money, honey. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Okay. All righty. So whenever I'm not making money, they tell me it's time to make some money, honey. The first thing is you got to make money. Well, let's put it like this. You got to bring money from where it's at now in the background to the foreground, to the forefront, right? You got to. Here's the problem. Most hosts, they're so loving doing interviews. They're so loving doing their show. They're not even thinking money until afterwards. And so what I like to tell my clients and my hosts is, number one, money has to be on your brain. You're not going to make any money with your show if it's not. So let's talk about some simple ways, but it starts there. Simple ways to make money. I'll give you 3. First of all, once the interview is done, and you can do this if you're doing a solo show too, you go and transcribe that baby like ASAP. Don't wait until you need it. Don't even try to figure out when you're going to need it. Just contact somebody on Fiverr or any of these other outsourced places and then have them transcribe it. Once they transcribe it, then when it comes back, you're going to have to go through and make some changes and stuff. But then you can package it up with the audio, just the audio and the transcript. Then you can upsell them to the video, okay? Or you can put them all together in a package. You can create a membership. So you give them a little bit instead of giving them all of it in Apple and iTunes. Give them a little bit and say, hey, if you like these 5 minutes and you got a lot of value, you're going to love the rest of the 50 minutes or the rest of the 55 minutes.
Good.
Go here and get that.
Teaser.
So, and you can charge a fee for that, a monthly fee or annual membership fee. Annual membership fee, actually lifetime memberships are very popular. I think that lifetime membership is a good idea if somebody just want to make some money right then. But then sooner or later during your lifetime, you're going to be like, boy, I wish I should have got a monthly fee for that. Because you're going to feel like you're doing the same work over and over again and not getting paid. So I say monthly or annually or quarterly. Keep some money coming in. And then another way that you can make some money from it is, after about 9 of those great interviews, and you've already got the transcripts, right? Package that bad baby up and turn it into a book. There you go.
That's good.
Those are some simple ones. We actually teach people over 50 ways to make money, 50 ways to get paid. So but I gave you 3. Easy.
Let's make some money.
Yeah, let's make some money, honey.
Thank you. So, Raven, what would you like to share with our? I think you have something cool to share with our audience today.
Yes.
Special bonus.
Yeah, I would like for them to offer though. Let's see. We actually got 7, just 7 people that I can offer this for free because we charge $5.97 normally for it. And this will be a out of the shadows into the spotlight breakthrough session with me. It's really, really, really special. It's not, it's not me just asking you 2 or 3 questions, and then we just dive into the offer, although an offer will be made for you. You're welcome to take it or not. But I want to find out what's holding you back, what's got you kept in the shadows. And then we'll talk about some different ways we can bring you out. But I'm going to take you through a exercise that I take my clients through that they absolutely love to help release some of the things that's been holding you back. So you'll really, really like it. I can only offer this to 7 people. And so for the first 7 people that click the link below or go to the page where you see my face and me holding the mic and opt in, then you will get that. Okay, the first 7 people.
7.
That's it. For everyone else, I want you to write this down, talkshowmaven@gmail.com. That's talkshowmaven@gmail.com. And just for reaching out and say, hi, I heard you on the summit, and giving me one thing that you like, I'm going to give you my talk show host toolkit. And it has scripts in there, it has questions in there, it has how to get a sponsor, it'll show you how to ask for the interview. All that's in my talk show host toolkit. So you'll get that for free. And that's for anybody that emails me. And please put that, make sure you put that in whatever you're going to have the speaker's information.
I will.
Yeah.
I'll definitely
talkshowmaven@gmail.com. And on the subject line, interview toolkit, and that's what you'll get, the talk show host interview toolkit. You'll love it. It has everything in there that you need. Whether you've done them before or not, you'll find some stuff in there that you'll want to use.
Thank you, Raven. I want to check that out too. That's awesome. Cool. Well, for all of you that have been tuning in to Raven and hearing her incredible story of transformation and how she has made a huge shift in monetizing her message, and obviously helping others transform their lives too, and up-leveling what they're putting out there in the world. Definitely take this opportunity. Be one of those first 7 to take her up on her offer for sure. And I appreciate you so much, Raven, for sharing all of your insights and telling us more about your story. And it's really inspirational.
Well, I just hope someone out there resonates with my message, and it will inspire you to go out there and make it happen. Don't procrastinate anymore. Don't, do all this disturbing self-talk that's no good for you. You know what I'm talking about. I've done it. We've all done it. Stop that. And pick a platform, any platform. Remember, mine was free conference call. So you can't even let money get in the way, and you don't have to have a special mic, although they make you better, of course, none of that. And just go out there and get your first interview done. Then you'll be like many of us, right, where we're hooked on it and doing it all the time. But you'll be so glad you did, because guess what? The first questions you can ask are questions you want to know. I'll say this and then I'll shut up. When I went through a divorce a few years ago, really rough divorce, and my husband, after 13 years, gave me a sticky note in 5 minutes and told me he was leaving as he was packing, with no toilet tissue in the house, no food in the house, no nothing. He was just gone. Very, very devastating to me. And he went back to a girlfriend that he had before me. So that's another show. I could talk a lot about that, but I ain't. But anyway, the point being is I was so brokenhearted and just emotionally distraught. And I really didn't have any money at that time. And so I was like, oh my God, I feel like I need help. I wish I had a therapist. I wish I could go. And I couldn't. But guess what? I had my show. And so I Googled coaches, relationship coaches, divorce coaches. And I think I approached about 12 of them, interviewed 5. And that's how I was able to get through that bad time. Because I asked them the questions I needed to know. Yeah.
It's like, what you need to know, interview an expert.
And guess what? If I wanted to package that up right now to help somebody else, and now that I haven't brought that up in a long time, I might do that.
That's
Now I have
perfect.
those interviews. I can put transcripts with those interviews, turn it into a book and a lot of other things. So interviews are powerful,
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, great. Well, definitely, if you haven't listened to Raven's talk show, reach out to her, and I'm sure she'll be sharing the info about her show as well, and
Yeah,
tune into some of
Amazing
her other
Women
interviews
Power.
too.
Just go to Apple Podcasts. Amazing Women and Men of Power. So Amazing Women and Men of Power. Or you can go, if you have Roku and Amazon Fire, just look for Raven International TV network and you'll find us there. But we're around.
We're around. Awesome. Well, thank you so much again, Raven. Mwah.
And thank you for inviting me, and thank all of you for listening or watching, and follow her. She's all that and then some. And I know
Woo.
you're really enjoying this event. I can't wait to go back and listen to the replays. Because I
Yeah,
am.
absolutely.
Everybody go out there and do it and continue enjoying the rest of this summit. I just feel honored to be here. I just met this lady, a couple months ago at Steve Osher's New Leaders
Mm-hmm.
Summit. And also
Yeah.
through Eric first, Zuling, right? And then seeing you at Steve. And I don't think either one of us even knew we were going to be at Steve. So it was really, really
Right.
great
It's good
to see you.
synergy.
Yeah, yeah, it
Good
was really good.
alignment.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah. And thanks for putting this summit together. And for all of you listening, how is she doing this summit? One interview at a time, and you can too.
Yep,
Yeah. So I hope
exactly.
to see 7 people. Love to talk to you and show you how to get out of the shadows into the spotlight by being the Oprah Larry King in your niche. And for all of the rest, what are you going to do? You are going to put Talk Show Maven. You're going to send me an email at talkshowmaven@gmail.com and put Summit on it. And then, just give me one thing. I want you to work for it. I want to know one thing that you resonated with, one thing that you're going to walk away and put into action, because I love to reward people to take action. And I will send you my talk show host interview toolkit with scripts in there. You'll have the exact script that I use to get many of these people you see behind me to say yes. You'll have questions, you'll have sponsor script, you'll have a lot of juicy stuff just for sending me an email. Okay. And for those of you that are going to be, I'll be speaking with you. I can't wait. You'll get that as well. So you're not going to lose just because you opt in.
Perfect. Thank you, Raven, so much. We really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Hey, bye everybody.